Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first expert series of 2024. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to get started in just a minute. In the meantime, please double check, make sure your microphones are muted. This expert series will be recorded and placed on demand within 24 hours. So let your colleagues know how much you enjoyed the presentation today and direct them to the on-demand tab or have them sign up for future talks. To get everyone familiar with the chat, I want to see where everyone's tuning in from and what the weather is like. I am in New Jersey, and it has been snowing all day here. Where are you at, Oscar and Mike?
Pittsburgh, and snowing like crazy here. Good storm.
Well,
Winter wonderland here.
Chicago and 15 degrees, but tomorrow I will be in Jamaica for my honeymoon, so I'm looking forward to getting out of here.
All right.
That'll be nice change.
Yep.
Cloudy, warm Florida.
Nice. And in the chat, we've got Philly with snow, Austin, Texas with 45-ish, windy in North Carolina. We've got Canada in here. No snow, but negative 20 degrees Celsius. Whew. That's a little chilly.
The lawn guys had to come mow my lawn today.
Wow.
Good.
That's all I'm going to say.
Alrighty, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Oscar and Mike here to talk about understanding your needs to design and build a custom laboratory in 30 days.
All right. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to join us for this first 2024 Expert Series event. It's a great event that I think that you will find very helpful to you, and it'll be helpful to all the sales reps that are on and to our valued customers. But once again, thank you very much. My name is Oscar Jackson, and I am an account manager with Thomas Scientific in the Mid-Atlantic region. And I've been employed with Thomas Scientific for 15 lovely years. I'm excited and honored to be co-hosting this event with Mike Bushler here from Lab Builders. And he is going to run us through a very excellent presentation on Lab Builders. So, Mike, I'm turning it over to you, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Oscar. Appreciate the introduction. And again, thank you everyone for joining and for having me here. Look forward to speaking with you all regarding lab furniture program and really what we could offer you all, through this vehicle. And it really, really is unique in that we are really one of the top industry leaders with our stocking program and what we could kick out in a given timetable. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And let's see, make sure I'm sharing the right one. Screen one, share.
Yep,
okay, so
you are looking good.
All right, sounds good. So we'll just jump right into it. So again, really, it's so nice to know that you all have full turnkey solution through us laboratory builders when it comes to lab design, and that we really want to act as an in-house architect for you all or a designer. We're going to be able to get you the product that you need in a timely fashion, and we're going to be able to do the installation as well. So it's a one-stop shop, and that really separates us from a lot of our competitors who are out there chasing the multi-million-dollar bid opportunities when we're out chasing the lab renovations and the lab rebuilds and the new lab builds, maybe a couple labs within an expansion in a building. So again, that's really our bread and butter and our specialty. So again, what we offer is that early project involvement with that initial design and space planning. A lot of what we'll do initially is budgetary, and a lot of our folks that work with us will need budgetary numbers for, say, 2026 because they're looking to expand, and we're here to help assist with that. Not only providing a budget, but providing a drawing to go along with that budget. So again, the lab furniture and selection and drafting, we do full in-house drafting here. We use AutoCAD, so it's a 2D program where we do plan and elevation view drawings. And we're also here to help guide you in the right direction as far as what kind of lab furniture really is out there right now. Because again, labs have a life cycle of anywhere from 20 to 30 years. So, when you're looking at new laboratory furniture, the options right now compared to, the 90s are a lot different as far as the sleekness, just the efficiency, the different storage options that minimize, clutter on a work surface, but, make a lot more room for, the lab users to do what they actually need to do. So again, we're here to help with the furniture selection and drafting. Lab equipment and placement. The reps at Thomas Scientific are your specialists in that case, but we are here to help place that equipment in our drawings. So we like to put placeholders, if you're going to have some sort of labware washer or a centrifuge or any type of, test tubes, and we need to put a placeholder in our drawings to make sure it doesn't interfere with any of our furniture. We're here to incorporate those types of pieces into our drawing as well. I'll touch base a lot on the in-stock program, which is about 90% of the projects that we do through Thomas Scientific, which is a quick ship product, all available within 2 to 3 weeks. And that will furnish an entire laboratory as far as cabinets, work surfaces, and all the accessories needed to, complete a lab. And we're here to really work on any size project. There's not a project too small or too large that we won't tackle. And again, that's why we are, successful through you all. And the value that we add is that we take on projects that most folks in our industry really try to avoid. And again, we have a nationwide network of installation professionals. So yes, we are based out of the Chicago suburbs, but we have subcontractors all over the country that are able to go to our job sites within a week's notice. So it truly does help support the in-stock program. And again, what's new for 2024 for folks that are familiar with laboratory builders? We are stocking a new inventory color of a brighter white, which we're now seeing is the industry standards. And coming soon, I would say more early to say mid 2024, we're really going to dive deep into our office furniture selection. So again, sometimes lab furniture for an office could be a little overpriced, because again, all you need is the bare bones. Well, we're here to help offer, the office furniture outside of the lab casework. So again, some of the areas of expertise that we deal with, and again, on a daily basis, and again, a lot of this, might be familiar with you, but again, the academia market and life sciences, we do a lot in manufacturing. Again, keep in mind, every food and beverage plant is going to have some sort of lab, QA/QC lab, where we're heavily involved in. Again, in the industrial side, the R&D, we do a lot of work within the research and development. And again, obviously healthcare and government and all the life sciences, the hospitals and the medical universities and the stainless steel casework, where you need to be able to clean it at a given time, or, again, table systems and whatnot within government sector. And then we're now very much involved in the cannabis sector. So we're doing a lot of custom fume hoods and casework within the cannabis sector of that industry. So again, we touch it all. Our manufacturer is ICI Scientific. So they're the folks that make the cabinet, and we are their #1 national and international dealer. So ICI Scientific is in Union City, Tennessee. So everything that we make here is in the States. It's about a 300,000 square foot facility where they are going to make all of our powder coated steel casework, stainless steel casework and work surfaces, chemical fume hoods. So if it's painted or stainless, pretty much it's coming out of this plant. And the picture we're actually looking at here is called the Salvanini, which it's really unique, where you have a sheet of steel that is in this tray here, and essentially it goes through this entire machinery, and it spits out a box at the end, and then the welders grab it and they do all the little parts and pieces. But this machine pretty much takes a flat sheet of steel and turns it into a cabinet. So the in-stock furniture program, again, it's about 700 catalog products available to ship within 7 to 10 business days. And it's about a $2.5 million inventory that we currently have for Thomas Scientific and their customers. And it's really unique in that we have miles of cabinets, close to 100 fume hoods in stock right now, and racks in Union City, Tennessee, that essentially just need to get crated and put on a truck to go out to these job sites. And, we have our work surfaces that are already purchased in slabs out in Florida, where we're able to manufacture and fabricate those within a couple of weeks and kick those out. tables, and we make custom tables that are able to get kicked out and welded within a couple of weeks as well. So the turnaround time with that in-stock program is very unique in that you guys have first dibs, so to say, to this program, and really no one compares with this inventory. I know there's a couple other folks out there that have an inventory, but I would say the second largest is maybe a 10th or a 15th of what we have as far as scale. So we can kick out $100,000 labs no problem with this inventory, and it would barely make a dent. So that's again the service and the value that we add, and we have that stock for a reason. And again, the projects and the renovations and the rebuilds typically have a quicker turnaround time, and we, in order to service those turnaround times, have to have some sort of stock. Now, keeping in mind that they're going to stock two different colors, and they're going to be a off-white and a bright white, and I have some pictures to show you, and this picture here actually represents the new bright white that we're offering. But as long as customers are okay with the black tops and the white-ish cabinets, then we're able to kick out labs in, anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on the scale of the project. So again, the program is amazing for quick turnaround projects, and we're able to then consolidate all of our quick ship materials at our manufacturer and ship it all on one truck. So in the background, yes, we have multiple manufacturers doing multiple things and shipping stuff all over the country, but when it shows up, it's all together on one truck ready to be installed. And it's very easy to replace a dented cabinet, say, because we never know what's going to happen when it gets in the freight company's hands. And for us to be able to just send out a new cabinet because we have it available, it makes it so much easier for the installation of our product. And again, I've kind of mentioned some of the products in this program, but it really completes an entire laboratory. So the painted steel cabinets are what we're going to stock. So we don't stock wood, we don't stock stainless steel or plastic laminate or anything like that. It's going to be our standard painted steel cabinets in that off-white color and the bright white. The work surfaces we stock in epoxy and phenolic. All types of lab workstations and table systems. And then I mentioned the accessories as far as the sink bowls, the faucets, the electrical outlets. We're going to be able to provide all of those. And again, basic table systems and heavy duty table systems. Everything here made in the US. Here's a couple pictures of our facility, and this is again half of that 300,000 square foot facility in Tennessee, where we have all these cabinets pretty much stocked, ready to go and shipped out. They just need to be crated. Just some pictures of our fume hoods here. Again, here the pearl white would be that off-white color that I had mentioned. So everything you're looking at in this picture here is considered stock and could be shipped out within a couple of weeks. So again, a lot of folks, our customers, really aren't too picky when it comes to color selection or cabinet styles, because again, when it comes down to it, there's really three styles of cabinets that are very popular, and it's a door cabinet, a drawer cabinet, or a combination of doors and drawers. So for us, if we stock those styles of cabinets in a handful of sizes, we're able to kick out labs like this through that program. Again, looking here at the base casework, again, all stock, but looking at the table systems themselves, these tables, which are, again, it's a very unique vendor that we work with, where they're able to just stock the actual bars, and we send them drawings of a table that we want in any shape, size, dimension, with uprights, with casters, with extra legs, and they'll be able to just do that for us. So we could, again, full customized table systems in the program, which is very unique too. Again, petal white, we're looking at the bright white color. This is the new color for 2024 that we're stocking here. Again, this is the new industry standard that we're seeing. A lot of our competitors are also now stocking this color, and every 5 or so years it tends to change, and this is what we're going to be trending to. So eventually the off-white will be phased out, but we're still going to offer it to you all. And again, just another picture of a lab. Again, you can obviously tell the floors aren't even, for the most part done, and we were able to get in and get out as quick as possible, which makes all the difference in the world. So again, some different pictures, and I had mentioned obviously the in-stock program, but keep in mind we're lab builders. So if it's lab furniture, we're going to be able to provide it. It just might not be within that 2 to 3 week time period. So our current made to order lead time is anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks. And when I say made to order, it's anything, as far that's being directly built from the manufacturer. We're putting an order in, It could be, you know, a different colored cabinet, like a two-tone, blue and white, or a full-on red cabinet. We can make fully customized tables with different types of, you know, cross members and supports and whatnot. Recessed poles, you could have cabinets with locks or sliding glass doors. So again, it's our job to extract that information from you all and understand exactly what your needs are within the lab. But just keep in mind, if it's furniture related and it's in a laboratory setting, we're going to be able to help. Internally here at Laboratory Builders, we have about 25 project managers here dedicated to the team for Thomas Scientific. And it really is a unique and honestly, the relationship and the service that we provide, it is different than a lot of other construction companies, because typically you'll get passed from a AutoCAD or a drafter to a estimator to a project manager once the job becomes an actual project, and that's the person you then begin to deal with, but you've already dealt with 2 or 3 other people prior. It's always going to be myself and 1 or 2 other folks here in the office that are going to handle the project from birth to grave, is what we like to say here. So it's going to be me on that first call with you and your customer, and it's going to be me you're talking to when it's the last cabinet installed and you want to make sure that it opens properly. So that's really the service and the value that we also add here, is that we dedicate folks to specific teams and specific accounts. So if you were to work with us again, we already have knowledge of the facility, you know, how we need to get in there to install, you know, what your standards are, and we take all that into account plus more. So again, we're really here to act as a one point of contact project management team. And it really is a team approach. And it's nice because if I'm gone, someone else knows exactly what's going on with any given project and is able to pick it up exactly where we left off. So typically what we ask for when we get on a call and it's time to actually design a lab, okay? So we would come out and potentially do site visits, but if it's something as simple as a renovation of a room like this, typically what we would ask for prior to getting on any call, or maybe after a first call, would just be some very basic wall-to-wall dimensions of the space that you're looking to outfit, or maybe a rough square footage of a new lab you're looking to renovate, where the door locations would be within that lab, and then just a rough idea of furniture locations. And it could be as simple as, oh, we might need some base cabinets on the north wall with upper storage, and we would like to have an island in this area. And outside of that, I rely heavily on the lab users and the folks in conference calls to just understand the flow of the lab and what you envision. Because keep in mind, although we might be specialists in designing laboratories and outfitting a space, we might not always be the most experienced with a standard operating procedure of a microbiology lab or a blood lab, and what has to actually take place within that lab. And by getting a little bit of your guidance and us helping to recommend the specific products that we offer, we're able to kind of collaborate and design a lab based off of your needs and the new furniture that's available to you. So it's a unique, you know, back and forth. And I will say that this is probably the longer process, you know, to get that information on paper typically takes about 2 meetings, sometimes 3, depending on the size of the lab. But once we get something on paper, we move very quick. Turnaround times for drawings for us are typically a couple days or a week tops. Competitors out there outside of Thomas Scientific, you're looking at 2 to 3 weeks just to get a design on paper, let alone, you know, getting the product made and the lead times that other folks are offering. It truly is unique in the value that we add in this industry. No one else really does it, quite honestly. So again, looking at that last picture and what we have up on the screen now, these are the drawings that we kick out, you know, for you all. And keeping in mind, we don't charge for any of this. This is all, you know, a service that we offer to Thomas Scientific and their customers. Obviously, we don't want, you know, we ask that we put a copyright so folks aren't using us for drawings and then just going to shop them out. But again, that's a given in the industry. No one's going to go ahead and do that if they're working with us and getting a quote. So again, this is the drawing. This is our plan view, and keeping in mind we have tags for our elevations. We're going to look at elevation 3 here to specifically show the customer what they're getting and what we're quoting. And again, this is, you know, all the product that we provide. And in this case, it was, you know, regular poles, but they wanted labels on their cabinets. We were able to incorporate the different pieces of equipment to ensure that they don't interfere with any type of upper storage. You know, being able to ensure that there's ADA height areas in the lab to make it compliant versus standing height and all the different accessories involved. So this would be an example of the drawing that we would then produce. Outside of that, we then provide a full breakout of our quote, and then we give it to the reps in a lump sum. So you as customers are able to also see every given piece of furniture, the square footage of epoxy top that we've quoted, and all the parts and pieces that are going to make that up, including the installation and freight. So that's really the process. And again, I would say, you know, what I had mentioned site visits and whatnot. So we are based out of the Chicago suburbs. We do site visits, absolutely, but keep in mind that it's a lot easier for us as project managers to at least have one conference call, virtual meeting to kind of understand exactly what's going on, so that if I do make a site visit, I have, you know, a set tasks that I could take care of rather than just a meet and greet. You know, maybe I could get some dimensions while I'm out there, or look at the space and see if there's anything that may interfere with what we're going to be doing. So again, it's not that I won't come out there right away, but I always like to have a virtual meeting just to kind of understand your opportunities and how we can assist. Again, what I like to finish with is our catalog here. So for reps, for customers, this is just a fantastic resource in general for anyone Thomas Scientific to understand really the full offering that we have. But it's very unique in that it's a flip book, and it's very user friendly, let's say. And I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up here. So again, this is the flip book that we have, and it really shows all of our offering. The table of contents is essentially on the side, and you go ahead and you can click to see really what we offer. And if you wanted to just purchase a one-off item and you're looking for a heavy duty table, let's say, and we go ahead and we looking for an epoxy top 48 by 24, you go ahead and click that part number, and it should direct you to Thomas Scientific for purchase. Again, we don't expect anyone to be experts when it comes into designing a lab. So if you're looking for more than just a table and you're looking to put together something, we highly recommend involving your local representative through Thomas Scientific and engaging laboratory builders. And we're here to help assist you all and to drive this project for you. Again, this is what we do. You know, I'm on calls 2 or 3 times a day designing labs for folks. So it's not stressful by any means. It's just a matter of, you know, you need new lab furniture or storage solutions, reach out to your local rep or reach out to lab builders, and we'll get the local rep involved. So yeah, outside of that, in the actual catalog as well, for a little reiteration of what I've kind of talked about today, at the very end, we do have lab design guidelines, and it does go into a lot more detail as far as, you know, how many working spaces within a laboratory, so we can make sure to have enough openings for chairs or folks to sit down, you know, all the little parts and pieces, engaging your environmental health and safety person to make sure that everything is to code, and we do need to meet ADA compliance and whatnot. So a lot of these things factor in when it comes to designing a lab, but we're here to assist you as your expert. So with that being said, that's the presentation we have here, and I'd like to open up, you know, to questions that you all may have, and, you know, see if we can help.
While everyone is thinking and typing out their questions, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for just a moment. I want to let you guys know that inside of their kiosk, there is a promotion, a giveaway if you take the survey that is hanging out in here. In here is also literature with those PDFs, web links, as well as some videos. So be sure to take a look at all of the items within the kiosk. And off to this left-hand side, you'll also see the topics that are coming up, as well as the second half of February, we will be changing over to, oh my goodness, where'd my thing go? We will be changing over to the Thomas Specialist kiosks. I will hand you guys back to Mike to see if there's any questions.
I'm on mute here. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead. I just had them pulled up. When we get them again, I think Miguel had the first question here. Okay, so from Miguel, who handles the project coordination process, meaning coordinating with the customer installation dates, situations like replacements? Again, that's all going to be myself and whoever is dedicated to that team specifically. So it's going to be either one of me or the project manager. And again, it's not going to be an installer. Yes, the installers are hired through us, but any situations that come up on site come directly to us as far as coordinating with the customer and their different trades. Again, keeping in mind, we don't do any electrical, mechanical, plumbing. Obviously, we need to coordinate with those folks to be on site on given days and times in order to, say, plumb a sink fixture that we're providing or hook up an electrical outlet. We're here to coordinate that with the customer if they hired someone direct and reach out, get their contact info. So that's all on us. Let's see here. Do you do demolition or flooring work? No to both. We used to do demolition in the past, but it's something that becomes very convoluted. Typically, when there's demolition, there's two phases, and a lot of stuff that we do might be a couple hours from us. So if we don't have a local crew and we're flying folks out, or let's just say we find that there's asbestos in one of their old tops and we're not, we can't demo that stuff because that's got to be abated properly and whatnot. So again, there's instances where we used to, if it's very small, but no, we don't do any flooring work or demolition. So different table systems. Again, our biggest sellers right now are typically modular items like table systems. And again, keeping in mind, you don't necessarily need to be in a lab to need a table, right? So our 3 table systems, and again, it'd be easier to just pull up the catalog here and share that with you. Let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. So we have 3 different table systems, and really it goes from least to most expensive. Patriot table will get you just about everything you're looking for as far as, a heavy duty table. They come adjustable, so you don't have the option for fixed, and they're not fully welded. You have the option to add on uprights. Really, this table's accessible with like a lot of different small parts and pieces we offer, like bin rails. So if you have bins that you want to hang up or a power strip, you could order the uprights separately. You could order extra shelves and lips. So that's the first system. Again, it meets most customers' needs. The heavy duty table systems, these hold up to 2,000 pounds. The other tables that we offer hold up to 950 pounds. So again, these are the bulk fully welded tables, and these ones are customizable in any dimension you want. We can make them with uprights, and they are definitely our strongest and one of our bigger sellers when it comes to customized tables, which are still in stock. And our third table that we stock is our division table. Now this has all the bells and whistles, but it's made really for modular type of labs where there's going to be whatnot going into electrical and different services going up into the ceiling and overhead service panels. They'll have a built-in data ports and task lighting with outlets built into the legs. So again, most of our table systems meet all the needs of the folks that we typically deal with. Let's go back here. Stop sharing. All right. Again, site visits. Yes, we do site visits, but it'll typically be after a meeting or so. Strict requirements. You work for a local water utility with strict purchasing requirements, and they typically like to see 3 bids. Do you consider yourself a sole source? No, and we understand that folks can't just work with one person and expect to just buy a $50,000 lab without getting other prices, and we completely understand that. So we are definitely competitive in the marketplace. We will, obviously we like to work with our customers in providing the best material and the best price. It's not like there's any type of premium when it comes to getting in stock product because we've already bought it and it's sitting in racks. So we are highly competitive, and we're not just a sole source. There are going to be other folks out there that will be bidding, and we are competitive in the industry. Are your designs sealed by an architect or an engineer? No, they are not. We're more or less interior designers, but we do work hand in hand with architects. And if it ever comes to that point where we need to provide our CAD blocks to them to get them into their architectural drawings to get sealed and approved, that could definitely take place. But our drawings specifically are not. We're more of an interior designer here internally with AutoCAD. Self-contained fume hoods with changeable internal filters. No, not so much. So our fume hoods, our chemical fume hoods typically won't have any type of blower or internal filters. That's more laminar flow hoods or biosafety cabinet type of hoods. We typically are in the chemical fume hood market, and when we work with chemical fume hoods, all the air is being exhausted out of the building. So there's going to be some sort of fan on the roof that's exhausting all the fumes. So we wouldn't have any type of filter systems and whatnot with our fume hoods. If we were to design a lab and purchase stock cabinetry, and then in a year want to add more, how feasible is it to add and matching inventory? Very easy. So I mentioned that we do a lot of our work in pearl white and it's stock right now, and we're always going to offer pearl white. It's never going away. We're just offering a new color. When it comes to getting additions to old projects, it all depends on how many cabinets we're talking about, but we can get those fairly quick because it's already a project and we're adding to it. If it's a full laboratory and we're trying to just match what's in the other room, it'll, again, we'll be able to get it, but it'll be at longer lead times. Let's see here. What areas of the country do you serve? So again, we serve the entire country, and outside we do work in Canada, Puerto Rico, all over Europe. But here internally, we serve all over the country. And again, it would be myself, local to Chicago, keeping in mind our office is based in the suburbs here, but we serve the entire country. What kind of tabletop options are available? So phenolic resin and epoxy resin are our two biggest tabletop offerings. Not to say that we can't do a plastic laminate or a butcher block, but typically those materials aren't so much used in the lab unless it's maybe like a balancing table if we're using like a butcher block, or they just want that material because it looks nicer. But typically what we work in is in phenolic resin, epoxy resin, and stainless steel. And really epoxy resin is more or less outdated unless there's a specific need for epoxy. It's a lot harder to work with, install, cut, but it definitely holds up well against heat and whatnot. So I tend to recommend epoxy only in like high heat situations where they're using a lot of flame within the lab, because it won't crack as easy as a phenolic. Let's see here. I believe I've hit everyone's questions here. Yeah, it looks like it. And I'm not seeing any other ones come in. So hopefully I was able to answer all your questions and give you some more insight to the program and really what you all have at your fingertips. And it is so unique in the industry, and really it is one of a kind. No one else does what we do, and we're here to service, Thomas Scientific and your customers here who are online as well. So we really do thank you all for listening in to Oscar and I again. We really appreciate your efforts, and for the customers out there, please, if you're interested in hearing more, learning more about us and how we could specifically help you and what you're doing at your facility, reach out to your local rep, and we're here to assist.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much
Thank you,
for
everyone.
joining.
Thank you,
Thank
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everybody. Mike,
Bye
Oscar,
now.
great job.